Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. That was just a brief break from our sponsors there, CaribVision TV. So I just want to introduce somebody who has a Trinidadian background, and he's Chinese, and he is just a real great person altogether. And, and he did this book, which we said before. So I'm going to introduce to you Daniel Chin, the Manifested Millionaire. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, the boss and Hugh. It's great to be on your show.
Okay, this is fantastic.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually working. We got you on the show. And
Yes.
you're live from, where are you?
He's in Hamilton.
Yes, Hamilton, Ontario.
So, Daniel, why did you move to Hamilton? Or why did you Hamilton's a great city. It's just down the road from Toronto, but I'm just curious why. I really like Hamilton, but why do you like Hamilton?
Yep, so it all happened by fate. It was 2012, did a real estate investment course, connected with another female who had her first rental property in Hamilton. And then, I visited Hamilton the first time and then a few more times, then really saw the opportunity. This was all before the new GO train station that was open July 9, 2015, before all of this stuff happened. And, I've moved there since 2014 to live.
Okay. So
and how you're dealing with the the COVID and stuff. That's why he's coming in, folks, today from in Hamilton because of COVID. So because we're practicing the social distancing. So how has the business been affected from you?
Yep, so it has been stabilized. What I would say is when the pandemic happened mid-March, April 1 rent, 50% of rents was paid, and then subsequent months, 100% rents was paid. So the good thing, what I always say was I was very fortunate to be in the right type of real estate in multifamily, and not in the restaurant business, shopping malls, hotels, which they all got decimated in throughout the pandemic.
All right. Well, I'm going to get Hugh to ask you a few questions with politics because he likes with Daniel Chin.
Do I look like a politician?
Yes, you look like
DBoss is surprising you with this now. We got to go into political mode. But Daniel, first of all,
Absolutely.
She must have an idea that you've got some political interest or whatever. So I'm not even sure what kind of questions to ask you. But what is your political? What are your concerns about politics? Let's start with that.
Well, what I would say is I do follow it. Concerns what I would say is I've never seen, for all of the things that has happened this year and all over the world, it truly is a global pandemic, times we're in. But, I don't comment too much on politics, but I do follow it because the policies that they set, it really does affect us all.
Yeah. So that's one of my concerns, maybe yours as well as a business person, because it just seems that the decisions that have been made have been about shutting the economy down, and in a sense the policymakers in Canada and in other countries have really destroyed a lot of businesses, and really made it difficult for families to survive economically. And although they're doing things like they're giving money to people or covering rent, as you say, but we can't continue to just give money out to people. Otherwise, the real underlying wealth creation of the economy is going to disappear. Well, what are your comments about that?
So in Canada, because we're in Canada, so what the government is doing, they're printing about 5 billion every week. And that is a lot of money printing. What happens is that causes long-term inflationary consequences. So in the near future, you'll see prices going up. So the long and the short, money printing is not good. And eventually we have to get all the jobs back. So 3 million jobs was lost April, and we only got back 2 million jobs. And the recovery process will be a slow one, but hopefully it's a good one, and we get back to normalcy very soon.
Okay.
What do you think it's going to take to get back to normal? Because people are saying things will never be the same again, and other people are not wanting to have what the media seems to be calling the new normal.
Yep, so it is new normal. That is a word we've been hearing a lot, new normal, but certainly things will be different. Businesses will be different, and the government will do whatever it takes until we fully rebound, which could be until 2022. But things will definitely be different going forward, and the only way to really survive is to adapt to change, basically.
Okay. Well, I want to know, like, when you came here from Trinidad in 2009, I believe, if I'm right, if that's right.
2003.
2003. Well, at least I got the 2000 right. Now, I just wanted to know how was it when you had to transition from the Caribbean here, and then you went into your real estate, investment. So can you tell people how you transitioned? Because first you were a banker in the banking business, correct?
Yeah, so I worked in TD Bank. Now my story at the boss and here, just like everyone, came into the country, was young, like a teenager, didn't know anything, didn't know the system, no friends, was just alone. So the first 6 years was pretty depressing, and went through the whole university, that system, and that was also depressing. But it really taught me persistence. And in my later years, when I was about 19, 20, that's when I finally figured out that it wasn't just about school. There was a lot more outside of school, and when I started reading books, that's what helped me to and then eventually I got into real estate, and I found out I was really good at it. Yep.
Well, Daniel Chin, nobody seems to know, he eats, breathes real estate 365 days a year. When people are sleeping, this guy here is working. I don't even know when he has the time for a girlfriend or what going on. But he was a party guy, I guess, I think.
In my younger years, till I was 19, 20, and then you just read. I did mention to the boss that was the younger days. I mean, believe it or not, she didn't believe me when I tell her, but I said yes, I did have long hair, and there was a lot of girls at that point in time, braids as well. And all those Caribbean events I went to, so it was the fun times until eventually one day you gotta grow up, and but it was certainly fun times.
You know how to dance.
Huh?
I didn't even know you know how to dance.
How did you find that out?
I still have to put him to the test because we got to see when he can do some real wine.
Well, maybe one day you'll see. One day you'll see the boss. One day.
You're on a Friday night,
yeah.
Sometimes there's some dancing going on.
Yeah.
Feet apart, of course.
And his hair's a little bit longer now, so I guess something must be going on because of the COVID.
Well, the hair salon place closed down, the boss, I think so. But certainly some people, they like the longer hair, and sometimes the older women, they like the longer hair as well.
Now you got any? I got some questions about his book.
Well, we're gonna ask him. You know what? We have to get people to know where he's from, because they may looking at
Okay, let's finish that.
Can we just give me
a
minute now?
Yeah, go.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in. Now, Daniel Chin, he's a firm believer he doesn't believe in these courses. People go to these financial investment courses. He does not believe in it because he says and he's going to tell us in a minute. He says that people who pay all those money for those investments courses could also put that down payment on their house. So can you tell us about that?
Yep. So with the investment courses, as I've mentioned before, now if you really have that desire and you have the commitment and you're very obsessed, right? 24/7 by 365, you really want to do real estate investing, you believe in it, and you believe it's the best way to build wealth and to create a better financial future for yourself, then you can simply just go to the library, read books for free. If you're not starting with a lot of capital, you're not born with rich parents or something, and you really work your ass off and read it. It doesn't cost you much but just your time, and you can still succeed. Now, for those who they're not really self-motivated type of people and they need to to do seminars and workshop, then that's perfectly fine. But the way how the business is, there's a lot of people who they're fakers and not shakers. They're phonies.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're going to get into your book here. It says, the manifested millionaire, which you are. And y'all women, don't run after the man now, because leave Daniel alone. Okay, and it says 10 powerful principles to real estate success.
All right.
So, Mr.
So
Riley.
it's a real estate. Okay, so this is real estate oriented, and Daniel, I used to sell real estate. So
Oh, you did?
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Wow.
I did, and I learned how to do the no money.
Even the boss didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, I learned all about the no money down deal, right? So and how to do that kind of thing. But I'm just concerned that, of course, real estate is obviously always a great investment in one sense, because as they always say, they're not making any more. There's only a finite amount of land and the population's increasing. But it does seem to me that, we've had a long period of very low interest rates. And I'm not, you mentioned earlier about the potential inflation that could arise because of the government spending that's been going on due to the COVID, and that could have possibly an impact on interest rates. And it just seems to me the price of real estate is inversely correlated with interest rates. And maybe this isn't one of the principles of your book, but I'm wondering if we're not in a bubble when it comes to real estate. And what are your thoughts about that looking forward?
So with regards to the bubble, and in particular to Toronto, we are number 3 on the radar when it comes to being in bubble territory.
Oh.
When you look at the debt to GDP ratio, so we're definitely on the top 3. That I can tell you. So the second question was, Hugh?
Well, I'm just before we get to that, what are the other 2 cities that are above us, above Toronto, in terms of being a bubble?
So it's Vancouver, and I believe the third one is Hong Kong, right?
Oh, so this
Hong Kong,
is a global index.
Yeah, global from the IMF. Yep.
Okay.
So yep.
Yeah.
So what is my outlook going forward?
Yeah. Do you think that? Yeah. Go ahead. What's your outlook going forward?
So right now, how current market conditions are in, we have very low interest rates, low inventory, and pent up demand. So the market is just playing catch up from when they reopened mid-June, because in March, April, there was pretty much no activities happening. So the market is playing catch up, and people are getting all hyped up. So what you're seeing now is properties bidding anywhere from 30 to 130,000 above asking, and people are getting all crazy, trying to get good deals because of these very low interest rates. But you have to be careful, because it reminds you like the time when we're in October 2007, and then the market crashed after that. So you still have to, be careful and not speculate.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
Go ahead.
I got another question.
Go ahead, you're loud.
So I'm just curious. So this book, because this book is relatively new, but I suspect was it published prior to the pandemic, prior to the?
So the book was published August 7th, 2020. And it was a special date because that was the first day I actually came to Canada 17 years ago.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And when it come to the whole writing of the book, it really did start off, in December last year, as it was supposed to be a blog. Then it evolved, and the stories got really interesting. And I actually wrote, twice the size of that book, but I only selected 10 of the best chapters from the entire book, which to being the most powerful principles that really helped me to succeed. And then it was 9 months in production, and thanks to another good friend, Karen Carrington from Karen Carrington Studio Productions, the book came out, and it was published on August 7th.
Okay, great. So now, the principles that are in the book, are they kind of universal, or
related to him?
Because we're gonna see different times. We're gonna see interest rates low, interest rates high. We're gonna see high demand, high influx of people, and the other side of that. So are the principles in the book kind of universal?
Yep. So what I would say, the principles are universal. It is a book not to how to become a millionaire overnight. You do ABC, you make money, but certainly the experiences was tied to my real estate experiences. So you have principles like take a lot of risk, know your worth or else they won't, always put everything in writing, reputation is everything, and of course the power of giving and going with your intuition and thinking very positive and expressing gratitude. So these principles are very universal, and of course there is my story and some of the valuable lessons that I learned the hard way.
Well, let's hear one of those.
Okay.
Can
hold on.
wait.
Well, hold on.
You
Can you let me ask? I want to talk to Daniel too.
But I want to hear what. Yeah, you go.
Okay.
I got something, but you go.
Okay.
Bring it.
We're fighting over Daniel. You know
go.
what I mean? All right. Daniel,
I love the both of your personalities, by the way. I love it.
No, but I want to ask Daniel something. And I know the people in Caribbean are watching it and they want me to ask this question.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. You have principle number 5 in this book. Business plus friends minus money equals disaster. Can you go on and let us know about a little bit of that one?
It's very simple. Business is business. Money is money, and friend is friend. You don't mix any of it. So I don't do business with friends or family, period. Right? When you have to keep it very separate. It's just in my experiences, when it comes to, there's always something with money. So that's one of my principles. I don't do business with friends or family.
So you won't give me any money then?
Well, it depends. It depends what is the cause. It depends what is the cause, the boss,
Okay. All right. It depends what category in the equation I'm in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can ask this question.
Well, I was just kind of curious because of our last interview with Chill down in Madison, but and you just mentioned some of the hard experiences in the real estate, in your real estate career. Like, is there one that stands out that you can kind of just tell us the story that other people can learn from your unfortunate hard lesson?
Well, what I would say, because there is many, right? From the beginning with dealing with bad contractors, and then dealing with dishonest and bad real estate agents, right? It is a nasty business, right? Like what my previous employer, Mr. Harry Stinson, said, and I believe he was on your show as well. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Stinson. He taught me a lot about the business and to be cautious as well. And so to be more specific, it really is, before I used to say it takes money to make money. Now I say it takes money to protect money. So it is really putting everything in writing. And because people always try all sort of things, and they just don't remember, or they don't stand up to their end of the deal. And that's what I've seen in the past 2 years. Not to go in any specifics, but last year one deal was a big one for me, and the prior year was yeah. So so it's really dealing with, I only deal with people that I know, I like, and I trust, and I respect. Because the higher up you go, the bigger the target on your back, and people want to take you down. But Hugh and the boss, hey, I work really hard. I always do the right thing, and do good work. And I always, how I built my reputation was by doing the deals and doing it with integrity. And the way how the business is, the way how people make money, in some ways you can say it's very disgusting.
So, I have a question, because it just seems to me that some people just seem to have a knack to be wealthy. They have a knack to have money, and other people just have a knack, or somehow they just don't have money. And I'm wondering if in your opinion there's a fundamental kind of character or characteristic of a person that is going to naturally have wealth in their life versus a person who's always going to struggle with not quite having enough.
Yep. So I get asked the question a lot, and it really, there's many factors that play a part. Now, imagine Daniel Chin, prior to getting into real estate, 18, 19 years old, chasing the girls, and partying, and just didn't have a clue what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I didn't set any goals at all. And then 10 years later, where I am today, what really helps me to achieve where I am is, of course, the power of setting goals, which is this whole theme of the whole book, to actually write down your goals and you can achieve your dreams, right? And of course, by working very hard towards it. So the environment you're in really plays a part, because that will really stimulate your mind, and of course your state of mind becomes your attitude, and your attitude over and over, that becomes your whole belief system with in whatever it is you're doing. And of course that translates into becoming your whole perception of your reality. So what all that means is you don't have to be born with this way of thinking, but certainly it's learnable. And that's what I've learned. What reinforced that for me was when I read the book Mandela's Way from President Nelson Mandela. He wasn't born, naturally with this gift or talent to be a great leader. He developed it over his lifetime, and in being 27 years in prison, was the greatest teacher, and it taught him about self-control, discipline, and focus. So definitely you can learn it, and you can develop these traits to becoming very successful. And it certainly helps to think positive, which is principle number 1 in the Manifested Millionaire book. So positive thinking will give you positive results. Negative thinking gives you negative results.
Okay. Well, Daniel, we know that this book is going to change people, correct?
Absolutely.
So where can they purchase this book? And, we're talking to people globally, so, they can go purchase the book and you could send it out to them. So where can they find this book to purchase it? And and you could tell them the price and stuff like that too.
Yep. So it's $20 plus HST, and the website is danielpchin.com, which is simply my name.com. And you can order the book online. And just to add, because there's also an importance when it comes to real estate and providing housing, right, to many people to live. that also a portion of the proceeds, I signed a deal with Habitat for Humanity to donate a portion of the sales, towards Habitat for Humanity Canada. So the whole of the entire Canada across all 57 locations to really help family build strength, stability, self-reliance through affordable home ownership. So we're also doing good things as well.
Awesome, man.
Okay.
So is the book, it's $20 Canadian or US, or are you taking at par?
20 bucks Canadian, plus HST the boss. Right, we gotta pay the taxes to our government.
I think people buying it in the U.S. First of all, that's a great deal for Americans, right? As
Yeah.
us people in the Caribbean that are used to spending American dollars, it's a real deal, and I don't even think they have to pay the HST.
Yeah, in the Caribbean, I don't think so.
Or
Or is that Caribbean? Are they?
You're gonna have to write to the Canadian government and get your money back.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it was great having you on today. Oh my gosh, we got so much information. But I really tell everybody, read this book. It's gonna help you. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Daniel. Reach out to him. He's very, personable. He'll talk to you. If he's too busy, then he can't. But he'll send you an email back and he'll give you a specific time. So I do want to thank him for tuning in today for Caribbean Liquid Lunch.
And that website again where you can get the book is danielpeachin.com, and connect with Daniel there as well. Thanks, Daniel. I hope you can make it up here to the studio one day, and if it's a Friday night, we can see the dancing skills with DBoss.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to both of you.
It's okay. But anyways, Thank you, Daniel. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Now we're going to go to